46. Save. Cool. Yeah. Okay. You guys you guys ready? You guys down?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
good.
Cool. Okay. We're live. Welcome back to Tragedy of War, session 46. We are in the later years of this campaign for sure. You guys are. Hang on. I was looking at this before. You guys are. Fuck. That'll show up on stream. You guys are like 60% of the way through the campaign. For frame of reference.
Ooh.
What was the halfway point, would you say?
The halfway point was... it was like Bedlam, probably, between when you guys were traveling from Gale to Safeguard. That said, the number of sessions has increased like a lot in Arc 2 than it did in Arc 1. Arc 1 was like, we were just like going. In Arc 2, you guys are like spending a lot of time in cities and stuff like that, so still probably about 60, but anyway. We'll see if it feels that way when we get to session 100. So kick it off this session with a recap. Session 45 was last session, so let's talk about what happened. Last time on Tragedy of War. The session began with the faithful few catching their breath after their battle within Palisade. One of the enforcers, Lazarus, helped Vough up off the ground after his near-death experience, and then he flew off to seeing after the rest of his comrades. He found Rolland attempting to resuscitate Iramul, and he fell to his knees. Iramul. And he spoke a few words in honor of his dead companion. But yeah, he did take the L.
Racism.
Maybe he would have survived if he were just an agent of Bedlam. You know, if he just stuck to what tieflings are supposed to do, maybe he would still be alive. It's anyone's guess. After a moment of silence, Lazarus rose to heed the words of his captain, his words of comfort, I suppose, as Rolland spoke of meaning in his death and the impact his sacrifice had on their cause, moving the front line forward of the war. Lazarus responded kind of tiredly. He felt that their cause was fueled by the blood of the fallen. Lazarus also talked about returning to Safeguard with Atlas.
That is true.
To bury Iramul.
That's where he lives.
Regain, their strength, recoup, and report, as he promised Rolland that he would report to the Seraph of everything that had happened, and then he clasped forearms with Rolland in the Safeguard farewell. Lazarus regrouped with Atlas, then flew off with Iramul's body. And the three enforcers departed. The faithful few took refuge from the rain in the now empty castle of Palisade. Inside, they were met with a shadow of a once grand hall. Brelikk, Artyom, and Rolland spotted a tavern called the Helping Hand, and so they ventured there to rest for what remained of the night. Khanek turned his sight to a dark hallway that led into seaside stables. Within these stables, surprisingly, there were horses. Hungry, but still alive. Why they were not killed and eaten by the half-orcs before you all remains unanswered. Khanek read a few lines of what seems to be a scrawled poem. And he fed the horses out of pity. And then he left them behind in the stables. We'll see if that kindness comes back for you, Khanek.
Yeah. This is where we live.
The horse motif is a powerful motif, Jack. You don't know what you've just done.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
This is where we live.
No matter what you did, you would be interacting with the horse motif.
Nope. False.
By not interacting, you seal your fate. By interacting, you change it.
Nope. False.
You are the horse in the stable. Okay.
I'm something of a horse myself.
Are these lies?
Vough found himself entering a storage for provisions called Round Bellies. It had been ravaged by the previous half-orc occupants, but Vough was curious about what lay deeper within the belly of this establishment. He waded through the crates and found a display case along the back wall. The case had a warning label on it, and it contained a sausage on a stand. Vough opened this display case, removed it, easily sidestepping the daggers that launched out of the mechanism attached to the stand, then claimed the sausage for his own purposes. After taking a bite, he found it to have a delicious taste with a full, smoky aroma. And after a few moments passed, the sausage regenerated.
Perfect.
The other three entered the Helping Hand. They were met with a pretty chaotic interior, very haphazard and messy. The tavern had seemingly been converted into a war room by Chief Dormar and his band of usurpers. On the table in the center of the room, there was a map that detailed plans to attack the main camp of Heritage, then march south to Safeguard. Nothing new there. But then there were additional details, for troop movements to marching north to Sanctum. It would appear this particular band of usurpers had big goals, big ideas.
Right.
Next to this map, there was a red pearl-like stone on a gemstand. Rolland, upon placing his hand on the stone, felt a surge of resentment for a race of people long thought to be dead, the dwarves. By touching this stone, Rolland felt their presence, however lingering it may be. Brelikk touched the stone and had a similar reaction. finally, it seemed, these two were bonded by a common goal. Racism. Anyway, Khanek
Racism.
and Vough walked in on this as Rolland slipped the redstone into his pack. I'll say probably you would have seen them doing this as you entered, Jack. So just so you have that in your back pocket.
I have that in my back pocket.
So after that happened, the faithful few made camp in the tavern for the night. And as Brelikk was preparing his cot, he noticed a dried blood trail that led into the back room of the tavern. He went to investigate, discovering a disheveled corpse of a seemingly elderly man clutching a mechanical cube. Brelikk examined this man, identifying him as a wastelander of Sanctum, similar to the one he had met with the first faithful on their ceasefire mission, a man by the name of Sage. If it was Sage, he looked much older than one would have expected him to. It is odd that his journey would have taken him to this place, only for him to die alone in a broom closet. Why was he there? Brelikk did not have any answers. The session ended with the faithful few finishing their rests and then promptly heading out the north doors of Palisade and into the lands of heritage, and Brelikk planting beans in honor of his return home. The ghost of Iramul sprinting across the border to come and stop him from planting the safeguard beans. So, given the circumstances, we could say you guys, like, retroactively, like, what you guys, if anything, you want to do in Palisade before you left. And then we could just say that, Brelikk still planted the bean or whatever, but it's, like, in the future right now. It hasn't happened yet. Or we can just pick up right from there with planting the bean and you guys traveling in heritage. If there's something you want to do and wanted to do in Palisade before you walked out, you can do it. Otherwise, we'll just pick up where we left off.
Yeah, I don't think I can think of anything. Maybe we just send it,
Yeah, I feel like
say
we just
Brelikk
go.
planted the bean,
Yeah.
and he's kind of just following along as we go here.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Let's just flush the map.
Oh fuck! I have to get on the.
Get on the foundry, please and thank you.
Oh, I'm there.
Mike, your name still says Kev on foundry.
Yeah, I don't know how to change that.
It's very sad.
There's your login and then there's your character. So if you take his permission away from Kev, which you might not want to do, or if you move it to a different folder, it might work.
Let's just take away his ownership real quick, see what happens.
And like do a roll on your character
That was
sheet. Mike.
the wrong one.
Did I do Vough?
I think so.
Nope, Kev's back.
There, I'll give you back Vough.
There he is.
are you going to fix this, Rolland?
God damn it. You're a son of a bitch.
Should
Very
refresh.
interesting. Shallow and pedantic. Whatever. You're the owner again.
Oh, okay.
Activate.
Oh, do we have Theramak with us, or did he leave?
You have Theramak with you.
Very cool.
Let's see.
I guess we just start walking.
Yeah.
How far is Heritage from Palisade?
Right over the border. But to any major settlement, I'm not sure.
Probably like a day,
You,
if I had to guess.
You all abruptly are interrupted by Brelikk storming ahead, seeming to know the path forward.
He runs forward and says, "Zug zug."
And then he runs away.
Well, Cannon, it's time to bring back the BDSM belt.
I need to get a child leash for Brelikk, please.
So yeah, you all continue on this cracked ground ahead of you. Fuck. Yeah, gotta move the stream map down to where you guys are. There we go. And then I'm gonna flash it again. Okay. So yeah, this mist that's in the air is brought upon by these geysers that are nearby. Like, you hear them every so often. You can't see them because of the mist, but you hear like a, every so often of one of them erupting, and kind of like a wave of heat coming from off the side of the path. And
Right.
the mist kind of condensating. That's not a thing, but
The dew.
it has transferred to the ground, and there's a lot of water kind of going on here on this path specifically.
Okay.
And
At the dew point. Wait a minute, there's no water here.
in while you traverse this path, is there anything you want to say to each other or to Theramak, or figure out maybe?
Well, not in particular.
Okay.
I asked Theramak, like, you spent the most time amongst, their ranks. Like, how do you think that we should approach when we get closer to the settlement?
Let's see here. A good question. Let's see here. Beautiful. Well. Maladar is expecting an attack from Doramar.
Right.
I imagine he does not yet know that he is gone, or that he has been felled. Still, he knew of the threat of an attack, but he did not prepare, I suppose. There are no defenses in place for
if Dorma were to attack. I do not know why this is the case, but Dorma was not driven out, he simply left. And after he'd left, he saw how many followed his lead, and in that moment he felt owed. And so he planned an attack, but Maladar did not plan to defend against it, I suppose. Not when I left, at the very least.
So, perhaps you're saying we use the element of surprise, show up and start swinging.
Well... What I am saying is that...
No, I hear you loud and clear.
The people of Heritage are not... Well, the people of Heritage are... They say they're looking for a fight, but whether or not they're prepared for one is certainly up in the air, open to dispute.
I see.
I do not think we will be met with resistance upon our arrival, regardless of our intentions.
Heard 'em, folks. Lock and load.
In the elevator. Remember, no Russians. Or no Russian.
Help yourself.
Theramak turns to you, Vough. And, after mentioning resistance, he'll say,
Though it is, prior to my departure in Heritage, there was an edict, I suppose, which Maladar issued regarding the Genasi populations within the main camps of Heritage. They are...
Am I not allowed? Do I need a disguise?
It will raise eyebrows for sure to see... For one to see a Genasi after the edict was posed. But... They were...
Well, spit it out. What is the edict?
Sent to the World Forge to... construct a great wall between us and Sanctum on the northern border of Heritage. The Genasi have not been in the main camp for some weeks now. They are out at the World Forge.
Where is it on the map? Is that like a thing?
The World Forge
just
on
like
the
the
map
northern?
is, you know it to be up here.
Oh, okay.
Oh
Well,
my god, boundaries lagging.
it should be fine.
Up where, Harry? Sorry.
They'll see me and...
I'd like to go on record and say that
It's up here, Cannon. To the left of Heritage.
in that crater.
Yeah.
to go on record, I have no quarrel with the Genasi people. In fact, it is...
I scare you guys, I'm not racist.
Is there a little discrimination happening here? Or...
Well, the edict was not accepted by... It was not well received, as I'm sure you can imagine. It was not a request, as it was more an order of sorts. But,
He kind of gestures to actually the water you see around you trickling down the path that you walk upon, and the mist in the air and the eruption of geysers.
it is the Genosi's work on the World Forge that has brought upon these bountiful changes for our lands. I believe them to be well, I sympathize with their plight. If Maladar were to be overthrown, then the Genasi people, we were planning at Palisade to discontinue construction of the wall and instead build a bridge over the north to Sanctum.
Oh, that wouldn't be good. Don't do that.
And why
Not sure
not?
if Maladar has much of a say.
Let me just ask really quick, guys. So, is our plan to overthrow the guy, or...
Yes, it is to destroy Maladar and lead the the orcs into
Okay.
Forlorn.
Were we planning on
Hopefully.
doing that, like, honorably, or in his sleep, or, you know...
Brelikk wants to do it honorably.
Yeah, but...
Well, we plan to
genuinely,
challenge Maladar. Or Brelikk plans
Really?
to challenge Maladar to combat. With the right to guide them into battle.
Insert, Brelikk.
Zugzar.
Zugzar.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This
I
is
guess I'll
what
keep
we
that in
do.
mind.
I'm glad you feel that line is so memorable, Jack. For one reason or another.
Just thought I'd ask, to make sure we have the same goal.
Yeah, I mean... Do you have any issues with this?
No.
Dude.
Now that I learned Brelikk was a leader person, that kind of changes some things for me, but everything
Well,
should be
he's
good.
maybe newer to the leadership, but yes.
Either way.
And
Wasn't long ago that he was hogtied and...
Okay, no.
Tell me more.
Rolland thinks this in his mind.
He was hogtied when?
Anyways.
What was I gonna say?
And so, I believe approaching it honorably is a noble idea.
I care not for the nobility of it, but your people, they will follow if held up in the tradition of single combat. Thus, it would make the most sense to do so.
I
Yes.
think it's our best chance. I'd rather fight one Maladar than an entire orc army.
Do the people know Brelikk?
Yes.
Like, is he a name?
It is,
So,
Actually, Brelikk is the second most common name in the orc tribes.
We'll say, like, for the
Ah.
sake of this conversation, too, Brelikk is kind of, like, up in the front, like, way far ahead, like, 30 feet. Like, he's like a silhouette in the
Perfect.
mist, like, strutting.
And he thinks to himself, "This is where we live."
Well, like, what if we just kill Maladar and
Zug.
say that they had a 1v1?
Well, of course. I mean to say anything in the mind's eye of the people to think that. Whether or not it's true is irrelevant.
Because look, between you and me,
But it is a matter of if we can get away with it or not. In a public setting, it would make the most
What if he
sense.
loses?
yeah, between you and me, I don't think he's winning.
Perhaps
We'll
we'll
see.
make sure he
Perhaps
does
some
win.
underhanded magic. The people in this place of the world, well, magic and technology is their weakness, after all. They would know nothing of such intrinsic ideas.
It is true.
I do happen to agree with you, Khanek. I would be willing
like
to
it.
intervene if necessary.
Okay, so plan A, they duel and he wins. Plan B, we kill him in his sleep.
Well, no, not in his sleep. We merely assist in the duel.
Alright, guys, who has Baeon?
The people of Heritage, no matter the method, will need to witness the killing blow if they are to accept him as their leader.
Correct.
Does anybody have any illusions?
You fabricate the whole
Honestly.
exchange and you just shoot him with a gun.
Yeah, we we use Major Illusion to make it look like he's fighting their mech, but we are, not their mech,
Brelikk.
Mole,
Maladar.
what's, Maladar, yeah. Oh, sorry, they all look the same.
Molkai. You were going all over there.
Yeah, so Maladar is like, oh, we do this like whole major image of them fighting, and then Brelikk wins the fight, but really we've already killed Maladar, and
That's what I'm saying.
he's
What,
rotting
do-
in a ditch.
Does anybody have any illusions?
No, I don't think any of us have major image.
No, that plan's
I care
wrong.
not for illusions. I do not have such magics.
Yeah, me neither. Well, let's just go plan A.
Genasi, what was your calling prior to your leaving Heritage? 'Tis not often we see Genasi in other parts of the world, and I did not see you traveling with these ones over in Gale.
Well, I was living in Destiny pretty much all my life, but I was born in Heritage, moved to Destiny. And then Destiny fell.
And
You
when is
know.
it that you left Heritage? You seem rather youthful.
Yeah, it was when I was a kid. Before the Purge.
Yes, the Purge.
Yes, the Purge.
The invasion of Sanctum. Sanctum's invasion of Heritage, yes.
Yeah.
That was a good time to leave. How is it that... It was very good timing, as a matter of fact. Your parents must have been quite gifted
very
in foresight to predict such an event.
Apparently.
Tis odd that you found yourself in Destiny. Or perhaps it is no coincidence.
Well, if you really think about it, like, where else would we go? Right? We either go to Forlorn, which is kind of a no-go, or Destiny.
At the time we did hold that land. Most certainly it would have been an easy, traversal. Undoubtedly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really remember much of it, because I was so young, but Destiny was fun.
What the
Yes,
fuck?
Your water-bending prowess will be... Was this something taught to you within the Kingdom of Destiny? Or is this an innate ability of yours as a water genasi?
The abilities I have were all taught to me. Never really did much with real water,
Not real water.
Well, the stuff that I have is all like, it's not real, it's just like my soul or something,
Ah, of course. Well, admittedly, the anatomy and powers of the genasi have been lost to me for some time. I thought I understood it at one point, but now I am not so certain. The genasi have a very cryptic past that they do not share with the other kinds of heritage. This world forge of theirs is a sacred site that none are allowed to see. They say it was the anvil for the world at one point in time, perhaps the collision point between the two worlds that existed before this one. It is where the worlds came together.
Would I have heard about this? Is this like a known thing?
Or
Come on.
you've heard about the World Forge, yeah. Roll history check.
Oh, sure. History.
And actually, I should go out on a limb and say I've decided, just in the moment, that the World Forge is actually going to be this big crater, because I think it makes more sense.
Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. We'll put it there.
Big crater. We're almost there.
I did like think to myself it's on the left, like in prep, but then I'm like, yeah, changing it now. Okay. Yeah, so
Yep.
The genasi, trying to think of exactly what information to give here. The genasi, the World Forge can only be operated by genasi. So even if other people found it, like, they wouldn't be able to use it.
Mm-hmm.
One genasi of every element needs to be there in order for it to work, and it requires a great amount of elemental power and infusion from each of these elements. It's very draining, and not just anyone can do it. What the World Forge produces is world, basically. It creates
Landmass?
yeah, magically speaking. It like it has been used in the past to extend the land of heritage into the sea, like up into the northeast of the map. hence all of the scattered isles and islands. These are places that were made for people to get away from, the mainland of Heritage during invasions and other similar wartime other wartime endeavors that would displace someone from their home. And so what Theramak is saying is that they're using this forge to build a wall.
Oh boy.
Between Sanctum and
Okay.
Heritage. Presumably because of the invasion from before. But at the same time, you as a true patriot of Heritage, Vough, you think that this is against tradition, like traditional values of Heritage. In fact, you know Maladar. Well, yeah, the only thing you know for sure about Maladar is that he's like non-traditionalist. Like he's kind of trying to break away from what Heritage has been in the past and basically reinvent what it means, like the values and the culture of this place, which aligns with his stance on not going to war.
Okay.
It is said, you don't know if this is true because it's kind of like before you, and before many of your Genasi ancestors, like before your parents, before your parents' parents. It is said that the Genasi had a hand in the forging of this world of Bedlam during the Cataclysm. Like, the Genasi weren't around before the two worlds came together, and then out of the Cataclysm they were there, and they were using the World Forge to basically build Rapture, is the theory.
See.
But these tales are so old that, like, they don't really, it doesn't really matter anymore because now Rapture exists and no one's old enough to remember whether or not that's even true.
Yeah. Yep. Ready.
Might have to do a quick recap for some world building on when the other guys get here, so they're on the same.
No, they'll simply get it.
Clearly they know.
The World Forge. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
There's this thing that, like, they forge, and it's the world and the gods. Like, that when they fucked and made this planet, it created the Genasi.
Boom.
Boom.
And unless there's anything anyone else wants to say as the conversation dies down, you emerge. So Brelikk kind of disappears above the steam, and you emerge from the steam as well into the night air, much higher than you were before. Like you're moving up and ascending, and then you're higher in elevation. And and you're on a ridge. You round the top of this ridge, and you find yourself at the top of what you realize is the edge of like a massive crater. And Brelikk is standing on this edge, gazing out, smoldering, out over the lands ahead of you, over the main camp of Heritage. So strangely, within this mist, it feels like not a lot of time passed, but evidently you made a lot of progress in your journey. And before you lay these war-torn lands, craters inside of craters, ridges on ridges. The land is like layered, old and weathered, and it just looks punished by its harsh history of war. But you see down with the flickering torchlight and echoing sounds of what sound like celebration are coming from below. Somehow this place remains inhabited. And Brelikk, after taking in this sight, descends the ridge, and Theramak follows suit. And soon after, everyone else does as well.
Yerp.
Alright. Where's the first fireball going?
We shall see, Klossman.
This camp is kind of a very sorry sight by comparison to literally anywhere else you've been in your journeys. If you have not been to Heritage before, this is very sad. Like, that this is what you're looking at, like, ahead of you is the main hub of life in, you know, within the Kingdom of Heritage. Compared to Safeguard, compared to Gale, compared to Cistern, Haven, even Sanctum. Like, this place is barely anything. In most of your eyes. And as you get to the bottom of these ridges, it doesn't look like there's any one particular entrance into the main camp. It looks like it's basically just open air, like a lot of different random entrances. So you barely just kind of picks one, goes in, and the sounds of this quote-unquote celebration is really just like the nightlife in Heritage. It's a lot of cheering and jeering and drinking and dancing. From what you know about the people of Heritage being like disgruntled with Maladar and, you know, not being allowed to go to war, seems to be an awful lot of, like, you know, happiness going on here, which is strange. Um,
Why are they so happy?
Why are you happy? Get back out there and kill each other.
This is where you live.
This is where you live? Let's see.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. So, this celebration that's going on looks like the people of Heritage are all moving, flowing in the same, like, general direction. They're all going to the west side of camp. Like, all individually, kind of like stopping what they're doing and going on over there. Some are carrying drinks, like, arm in arm, you know, stumbling toward this central location, seemingly, within the camp. And it doesn't look like there's anyone in this camp that is, like, paying any attention to you. Nor does it look like there's, like, guards, right? For starters, or anyone that would, like, stop you.
So it's a bunch of innocent
Or-
people, and we shouldn't slaughter all of them, is what Harry's saying.
No, I mean, I'm just saying it like it is. There's no one stopping you from doing whatever you want to do here. So there's these dim torches that are lighting graveled paths throughout the camp. But you notice Brelikk stop at the
What the hell is this, Brelikk?
They happy.
he kind of stops at the edge of the camp with you all, and he kind of plants his feet, and he has a bit of a furrowed brow. He doesn't seem to be paying attention to the festivities at all. He seems to be looking in the opposite direction to the east side of camp, seemingly toward a specific spot, but he doesn't seem to be moving toward that specific
If
spot.
we can find Theramak here, it's the ideal situation. The entire town, or peoples, are gathered here, it would seem.
You get the
You mean
feeling...
Maladar?
Yeah, Maladar. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You get the feeling that Brelikk needs some time to gather his thoughts before confronting Maladar. You have come to realize that this place and its people have a kind of complicated history and dynamics in terms of who supports who, and you remember hearing in the past briefly that Brelikk once supported Maladar, like they worked together on things. Without a word, in response to you, Khanek, Brelikk steps toward a shoddy, kind of like shack. Just like on the outskirts of the camp. The building is labeled like in scrawled, like etched knife point, like lettering, Bad Company. It looks like it's a tavern.
Man.
And Theramak, seeing him walk off in uncertainty toward this tavern, he follows in after him, perhaps to share in a drink. So here we'll say Artyom goes there too, so that it's, and he takes Sasha, a little cowbell, ding da ding ding, and he kind of ties her off outside this tavern, and he walks in as well to share in a drink. So here you three are, standing outside on the outskirts of this camp. You hear the sound of a hammer ringing against a nearby anvil. And there's like a smith there. He seems to be ignoring some of the festivities that are going on around him. Could be a good opportunity in the meantime to see what the locals think about what is going on, and even if why people are seemingly happy. Or you can join them for a drink as well, all of you going into the tavern and maybe resting for the night before confronting Maladar. Or joining in on the festivities and seeing where everyone is gravitating toward on the west side of town, of the camp. What do you
I think I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll this whole time, as soon as we like saw the camp, I just have had a look of shock, maybe a little disgust.
It's been a long time. Yeah, it looks way different to you.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'd probably just follow where everybody's going, see what the hubbub's about.
Okay. And you, Khanek, what say you? We lost Khanek.
I'm gonna go with Brelikk.
Yeah. For a drinky drink, little sippy sip.
I'm assuming he knows where to go. I'm assuming he's on the mission. You know, he's on the prowl, motherfucker.
Yeah. No, he does. Okay, so Khanek follows them in as well, and we lost Cannon, so we'll have to wait to hear what he says.
Oh no.
But yeah, Khanek, you follow in after them into bad company, and do you say anything to Vough before you leave him behind, or before he leaves you behind?
Vough, do you say anything to me? You see me walking with Brelikk, so.
No, I would just walk away. You might not even
All right.
notice me.
He's going. Okay. That sounds good. And so you walk off on your own, Vough, and you partake. Following along with these people who are very drunk and oblivious as to you and anything else that's going on, really, except what's directly in front of them. Which, as you get further to the west side of camp, there is a group. Like, the mob is getting thicker and thicker, and you're having to, like, wade your way through the sea of people. And you hear the sound of metal on metal, like, king, kung, you know, like, what sound like combat. And this group of people, this sea of people that is formed here, seems to be encircling this whatever is going on at the center, and as you get closer, could you
Wait, did you say Vough or Khanek sees this?
Vough?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's following in on the festivities. Which I was gonna say I was gonna say history, but I actually don't think it's the crater I was thinking of. Yeah. No history. You just you get the feeling though as you approach that this is some kind of fighting pit, and as you reach the front of the crowd, you see into an arena of sorts. In this arena, there is a half-orc wielding a spear.
A spear? Orc with a spear? Shocking. They always use axes.
And he's wearing these kind of... Where is this? Half-orc. God damn it. I was gonna put this guy's art in, and then I didn't. I don't know why. There he is. Half-orc. You see a half-orc wielding a spear. He's got kind of like these leathers on, and furs. And the way he is wielding this spear is very deft and, like, you know, spinning it in all kinds of ways. He's got this kind of ponytail beard, or he's got ponytail hair. And okay, sorry, I'm trying to pull this art up on my end so I can actually... Yeah, he's got ponytail hair and these braided beard strokes, beard braids, all over his chin. He's got a bald head with a big scar going across the center. And it looks to as though he is facing off against three thinner looking half-orcs who are wielding traditional great axes and hand axes and the like, and they're all trying to catch him. And as they're trying to, you know, he's like swinging his head, matrixing their, like, what would be lethal strikes, and his ponytail is like circling, you know, as he does so, sliding his foot, stabbing into, you know, slicing through their tendons and making very precise strikes with this spear, as this half-orc seems to be besting these other orcs in fight, despite having despite being outnumbered. Hey, Cannon.
Hey, sorry.
So that's what you see. I'm trying to get his art in. I really don't know.
Is this Maladar?
No. We have Maladar yet? Did we make it? So basically Brelikk, Artyom, and Theramak went into a tavern rather than go to see Maladar. Seems as though Brelikk needs some time to think about his confrontation with Maladar before just going.
Yo, let's go.
Yo, we got Will.
Sorry, my
What's-
head's
What's up, Will?
pop up, so
No worries, dude.
here.
Welcome. Glad you could make it. To recap, just for you and Canon, real quick. You have all arrived at the main camp of Heritage. And Brelikk, since he's not here, rather than go straight to Maladar like he had planned, you get the feeling that he needed some time before confronting him. So he just went straight into one of the nearby taverns for a drink and to think things over. Theramak followed him in. I said that Artyom as well just followed him in there since you weren't here.
No one cares that like a human man is there.
It doesn't seem like anyone's noticed, yeah.
Oh.
And Khanek has also followed them in there. So Vough has gone to see what everyone is celebrating, like what's going on. Vough, as you followed this crowd and you've seen this arena and all these people gathered around, it doesn't seem as though there's anything particularly unique about this festivity. You get the feeling just upon looking around at the faces of these, these cheering like onlookers and the fighting in the pits below, that this is perhaps a nightly occasion, a nightly kind of occasion, celebration, whatever you want to call it, and it feels very patriotic. Like you like the vibes of these people who are, this is what Heritage is all about, kind of a thing,
Sure.
I cannot get this guy's art in. It's impossible. Foundry won't let me, so it's not happening. But as this half-orc with a spear places his final strike into the heart, lethally, of this rather young, strapping-looking half-orc fellow, pierces him through the heart, removes the spear, and he falls to the ground. And there's a moment of silence, and then an eruption of come from the crowd, just all around this pit. Like there's one in particular of this half-orc who just opens his gaping maw and yells as loud as possible right in your ear, right next to you. And he just seems totally wasted, completely gone. He has no sense of what is happening anymore. He's just like part of the mentality at this point. And the half-orc removes the spear, the guy falls, and he turns to kind of receive the crowd's approval. And he points with his spear around at the crowd.
Is there no one else? Kerchak, the unrelenting, will never be slain.
Artyom, get in there.
So you see this Vough, and everyone is like, like still like belligerently screeching at the top of their lungs. But it does not appear as though anyone steps forward immediately.
No one at all.
I'm just thinking.
Am I there or am I with Brelikk?
You are with Brelikk at the moment, yeah.
Ah.
Oh wait, so is who is here right now? Is it me?
Do you want to be
No,
with
Vo's
Vough?
the only one there.
Oh, Vough.
Do you want to be
Huh?
with Vough, Will?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. I'd say you could definitely have made that choice. So, Vough, as you're standing there, Artyom just kind of appears next to you. He kind of pushes the half-orc out of the way that was screaming in your ear. And just gives you a
I'm
nod.
gonna look down and give him a I have like a I have like a mug in my hand. I imagine I quickly went with Brelikk, grabbed like
Yeah.
an ale off the table of someone else's, and I just walked over, and it's like the foam. I'm like sipping the foam as it's like foaming over the side. I kind of give you a nod.
What exactly is happening here? Oh,
They're doing a
And
fight.
another guy jumps into the arena as you guys are talking about this. Looks like a burlier half-orc with a gray beard.
Just a fighting pit. I'm kind of deciding whether I want to get my ass kicked or not.
well, these guys, you could take them with one hand. Because you're quite strong. And
I'd like look down at Vough like this string bean.
Yeah, I don't know. Fighting's not really my thing, you know.
well, is there any sort of prize, or is it just for fun?
I think just honor or something. Probably.
Honor.
I don't think this town has many riches.
It is true. This is heritage, after all.
Yeah.
I tried telling you this place was a shithole.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it's been, you know, changed since I left, but I don't think it'd be this bad.
I guess we can sit there and just watch another man die. Why not?
Just takes the spear and then just stabbing it down the guy's like throat, piercing him from the inside out, skewering him like a shish kebab, and then piercing into the earth below, so that this guy is just like, you know, upright, staying there, and the crowd erupts in cheer again. Oh! As this half-orc walks around, like, having planted the spear in the ground, he walks parading around his victim, like, you know, pulling, like, goading the crowd to cheer him on. And he then grabs the spear, the bloodied handle of the spear, and then rips it out. And the crowd erupts in another cheer, and he points the spear around, this time not requesting another combatant, but simply just takes it in as he nods with a big, underbitten, toothy grin.
Who among you is strongest? Who among you can step to Kertrak?
I kind of look to the sides, kind of sipping out the ale. Look over and I kind of look at him, and I just kind of raise a hand while sipping the mug.
Could you make me a stealth check, Vough?
Sure. Can I just choose to fail it?
Yeah, you can choose to fail it.
Sure, I choose to fail it.
As his spear is parading around, pointing, and the mark, like, your Genasi self shimmering kind of with your magical Genasi essence, the water perhaps
glowing,
glinting in the light of the torch. He catches you, and he stops the spear right on you, gesturing it at you, and the crowd all begins to turn to see what he's pointing at, and he just erupts, Genasi! And immediately,
Oh, no.
Vough, you feel hands from behind
Up
push
straight,
you
like,
into
up your ass.
push you over the edge of this crater into the arena below. And for you, Will, I don't know if you were in the server when I flashed this. Let's see here. So this is where you and Vough are currently.
I'll as he's falling, I'll be like, "Well, I guess you had their chance to fight." No.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
And could you make me an acrobatics check, Vough?
Yeah. As I get pushed in, my shoulders are kind of slumped. I'm feeling kind of sad.
Raw. Well.
But I still land on my feet.
Yeah. Do you do like a little monk flip as you descend?
No, it's kind of just a sad.
It's just a sad, yeah.
a sad walk.
So you kind of land down in this place. And Kerchak continues pointing at you with his spear, and then he swings it around his head and readies it.
Should have stayed at the World Forge, Genasi!
And he's
The fuck?
he plants his back foot and kind of holds a spear in a way that you haven't seen before, as he sways it like from side to side, as if first waiting for your approach. But do you approach?
No, I just kind of stand there, kind of slumped.
You're a big slumper, aren't you?
I'll yell into the pit. And I'll be like, Vough, you try to look somewhat intimidating, or at least be ready.
I'll
This
turn
is
around and
embarrassing. I'm just like yelling out, this is embarrassing for me.
Okay.
And Kerchak, seeing you,
I'm like a mom at like a pageant, like when the daughter's on stage performing. I'm
Fucking
like,
dance
"Come on."
moms.
yeah.
the dance mom. Like, come on, put their hands up.
While you look up to Artyom as he kind of is giving you this fatherly, brotherly advice, you turn back and you see a spear flying point blank at you. Could you make a
Deflect missile.
a
deflect
dex
missile.
saving throw? Yeah,
Can I deflect missile?
you can deflect missile.
Should I do the save first, or?
How does deflect missile work? I think you could just do it, right?
So
Yeah,
deflect
you
missile,
roll
it just
damage.
reduces damage.
Yeah, and if you reduce the damage to 0, then you can catch it and throw it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and try it.
Wait, I give you bardic inspiration.
You're not
You're
there.
not there.
I know, I'm kidding. It only works on d20 rolls too. But Harry, it would be pretty cool.
Kind of just spewing nonsense.
It'd be pretty cool if you let that happen, though. Am I right?
It would be.
I feel like I'm gonna. I
You
have to
feel
try it.
inspired by Roland's not presence.
Okay.
No mechanical benefit, of course.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's not. It. Hold on.
Threw it at the horse.
That's the.
But you do need to have a target, don't you? So you can just use the
Yeah.
horse if you need to.
Okay. I just need to know how much damage it does.
Okay. I will roll it. Well, it's got to roll the hit. Well,
Yeah.
we'll say he has advantage because you were looking away.
Sure.
So we were kind of just assuming it was hitting before. This is going to be a high number, but don't be startled. Oh. What? Wait. That's a D20, right? That's not... Okay, yeah, he rolled 2 20s.
Two natural 20s.
Sorry, Mike.
Okay. I was
You know
like,
how
did I
this
put
shit
that in
goes.
wrong?
Sorry, Mike.
I thought I put it in wrong at first. Okay, so roll 3D 2D. It does 14 piercing damage.
Okay, so then I roll d10. That's not good. So it's 2 plus dex, which is what? It's 5. 5 plus. What level are we? 13? Okay, yeah, so I reduce all the damage.
Nice. Do you want to try and throw it back?
Throw it back.
I have never ever seen this ability be useful.
Can you make me an attack roll? Right?
Yeah, should I just attack the horse? I guess?
Yeah, use the
Pretty good.
Just attack the horse.
Yeah. So
It's a motif.
you're looking at Artyom. Artyom says these things to you. You look back. The spear is moments away from your face, but your monk training slows down time long enough for you to react appropriately. How do you throw this back at him?
I'll like dodge out of the way, catch it, spin around and throw it.
Yeah. You like take the spear's momentum and you
Yeah.
like a whirlpool throw back at him. And the spear flies even faster than it did when it was coming at you the first time. And
Holy shit.
you skewer this half-orc through the neck. Spear out one side. It's completely, like, halfway in, halfway out. And the half-orc... as, like, the blood just pools out of his mouth and over his beard. And he very quickly falls to his knees, like pawing at his throat, and then face plants onto the ground. And there's just this silence over the crowd again. And it's
That
long.
is more like it, though.
People following up Artyom's approval.
Dog, dog.
And
Dog, dog.
Seemingly now belligerently hammered, they all start saying, "Vough! Vough! Vough!" In approval, echoing Artyom's statement of your name. And this it looks like people are just now like festively just like beating the shit out of each other in the stands, in the ring surrounding this this arena, and no one really seems to be paying attention to the fights anymore. No one jumped down into the pit, as far as you can tell, and you're kind of just now left alone down there, and Artyom is standing there looking down at you. What do you guys do? So the name of the guy you killed was Kerchak the Unrelenting.
I think that's pretty weak.
You seem to have relented. Like I said, silly victims. Doesn't make much sense.
Says the guy named the Forest Fire.
So call me Treebird.
And
I think I would
Artyom.
just,
Oh, Yavo.
I would kind of just,
This is where I hop into the pit and fight you, Mike.
oh, let's do it. You fucking beat my dick in.
Do you want to? That is an option at your
kinda just-
disposal.
Look at the guy. Look down at my hands. Look at what this place has come to,
And you're just kind of not. You're just reflecting on all that it is.
Let me hold
Artyom,
back here.
Artyom, as you're standing there looking over the edge, a half-orc in their belligerent festivities bumps into you, and he, like, his back kind of flaps against you, and he turns around you with, like, a mean-looking expression.
Hey, what's it there? Oh.
So he, like, looks up.
What's a human doing here?
Just enjoying the festivities like the rest of you.
And the half-orc kind of looks around.
Do I know you? You look familiar.
Probably not.
He nudges one of his half-orc brethren.
Hey, does this guy look familiar to you?
Another half-orc looks over.
Yeah, I'll say he's a big one, isn't he? Ain't seen humans come that size normally. Yeah, that's what I thought. Looking like... Smells like a pile of burnt ash.
Do you try to excuse yourself from the social encounter, Artyom, or do you stay around to see what happens?
I'm still waiting for his bow to like get his ass up here, so I guess I'll stay until Vough decides to jump out of the pit.
You know that Qeynos fella.
Yes, it is my friend's bow.
Why you letting him back in this camp here? He's supposed to be out building the wall.
Building the wall. Well,
Wait, heritage is for the Trump supporters.
I looked out of the pit and I go, Vough, are you supposed to be building a wall?
No. I don't think
He
so.
says he's not supposed to be building a wall. You must speak up, Vough. It's hard to hear you from down there.
This is as loud as it gets. Yeah.
I'm
can't
struggling
hear
to
it all.
hear you. I'm just judging off your facial expression. He says no. Does not have to build a wall.
Right. Sure. No, it's fine. I don't quite agree with the edict myself.
You're finding it hard to understand him, but seems to be slurring his words. He seems to have let go of this idea of Vough building the wall.
He's like, you know, you're a big one. You know him. Ever tested your metal against his?
I don't believe he has metal. Well, do you have a sword that I don't know about? I haven't seen you use one before.
Shake my head no.
He says no, he doesn't have a sword. We are 0 for 2 on wall and sword.
That'll make you the favored contender then. I got
Artyom was done
20
with
gold pieces on the big one. Make that 30.
As
I am not one to
Various-
fight for your gold. Yes, you know, I fight. I only fight out of real necessity or bloodlust for specific enemies. But I appreciate the support. Vough, are you gonna get out of the pit, or am I just going to stand here waiting? My mug is dry. I wish for another drink.
the half-orc...
I've
as-
seen you flip before. You can get out of there.
As you said what you said about fighting only out of necessity, the half-orc's expression changes as his maw hangs open, agape with dissatisfaction in your answer.
Do you know where you are, human? What are you? Some kind of spy? This fighting is necessary.
Well, if it is necessary, then I will kill you if I need to. But currently, I have one mug empty, and I have another hand free with no drink. I wish to fill that drink. Now, I'd like to go and get that drink if my party member would decide to get out of the pit.
You're saying you're gonna kill me with that mug?
I wish to.
He's like tapping on the shoulders of his buddies.
I told you, I do not wish to fight unless it is necessary, but if I had to, I could beat you with my bare hands.
If you don't say fighting is necessary one more goddamn time, I'm gonna put you in that pit.
As much as I would like to see that, my friend, I think I shall show the restraint.
He's
I
gonna
have
try to
spent
grab
years-
you.
Oh,
Could you make me a strength? Could you make me an athletics check?
Okay. My character sheet open. It's so slow.
He's gonna try and like grab your arms and then try to move you, but you don't move.
My friend, it's not a good decision for you.
He's like trying to push you, and like his feet are like pushing into the earth. He's like running in place.
My friend, I have tried very hard. I have spent many times in the mountains trying to restrain my anger and frustrations, and I have done quite a good job to do that. And I really do not want to go back to the way that things used to be. I am much more peaceful now.
Talk. Peace. Some Nazi you are. Hey, Brelikk, Shedworth. These guys are Nancy, who doesn't know how to fight.
I look down at the mug and I go, I apologize, Sasha. Close your eyes. And I literally take the mug and smash it against the side of his fucking head.
Could you roll me
I don't know what improvised
an
weapon.
improvised weapon? Yeah, which is just your strength. D20.
Let's roll it.
Dirty. Yeah, you smash the mug into his head, and you break the mug, and you see an immense amount of spittle and drool fly out of his maw as you crack his jaw. You feel it break as you watch him slump against the side of the arena and then topple over the edge down below. And Vough, you just watch the body just... It's not far enough to kill him, but it doesn't sound pleasant. And the other half-orcs that he was like gesturing to like, you know, help him out, they kind of like look at each other. They're like, and they start drinking and like looking another direction and paying you no mind.
I look down in the pit and I signal for Vough again. Mr. Brelikk.
Welcome, Matt.
Main characters here. Matt, save us.
Sorry, I was late.
Matt, you're in a fight to the
Iowa.
death with Maladar right now.
Wait, I'm in the fight? What?
Yeah.
Hold up, wait.
You actually lost a
there.
leg.
You
Not there
lost
yet.
a leg.
Okay, thank you.
And then he wrapped a whip around your neck like a choker and pulled you down to the ground.
Yeah,
Matt, you
no,
are
I'm
now
not-
you're the chained
Outside.
catalyst.
Real quick, Cannon. I've been in a car for 4.5 hours. Not in the mood for your fetishes.
Oh.
Alright. Damn. Where are you driving from?
Me and my family. No, sorry. Me and my brother. We went to Iowa to see our grandparents because our grandpa got out of the hospital recently, and
Wow,
he's
Cannon,
not.
way to be an asshole.
He's not doing fantastic. So we stayed a bit
Got it.
longer too, and that's why I was later than expected.
All good, man.
But yeah.
No worries, dude. Hope.
Yeah, if you
Is it-
watch back the VOD, it'll be a fun time. We've been having some goofy little moments.
It's
Can someone catch me up on where we are?
So yeah, let me
We're
flash all the
enjoying the
visuals.
festivities.
Yeah, let me flash all the visuals in the order that we've done them so far for Will as well. Yeah, you're in the Foundry, cool. So you the others, you were kind of charging ahead, like leading the way back to Heritage since you know the way from the border.
Yeah.
The others were just having a conversation, on this cracked path before you with the trickling stream and everything. And then, seemingly not after a lot of time, you emerged from this steam and found yourself atop a ridge overlooking the main camp of Heritage. So you have arrived in the main camp, and this is the visual for it.
Oh,
And,
that's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty drab compared to the other places in Rapture, as you know, but it is your home.
Oh, yeah.
So you have a warm, fuzzy
Home.
feeling upon returning. You all
The fuck are these buildings?
you descended down this ridge, and just before entering the camp proper, you stopped in your tracks and you went into a tavern to kind of contemplate how it is you wanted to go about confronting Maladar. It seems like you know the way to his to the Hall of the Fallen is what it's called.
Yeah.
But which is where he would presumably be, but in this moment, you're stepping back into the main camp for the first time in a while, and so much has changed. You kind of needed a second to process things, so you went into this tavern called Bad Company with Theramak and Khanek. Artyom came for a bit just to grab a mug, and then he ran off to hang out with Vough, and then Vough and Artyom found themselves following the festivities. People in this in the main camp are celebrating, which is weird. For a group of people that is seemingly disgruntled with the current way that things are in Heritage, it seems like this place is kind of thriving culturally speaking. Then they found an arena where they looked over the edge, and Vough just was watching this guy kill person after person who was hopping into the pit. And then Vough got thrown down there by a bunch of half-orcs to fight this guy as well. And the guy threw a spear at Vough. Vough caught the spear, spun it around, and threw it back at the guy, skewered him through the neck. The guy fell over and died. Everyone erupted with approval, and you just came in at a moment where Artyom was basically being drunkenly harassed by a group of half-orcs who seemed very interested in the idea that he was a human and that he didn't think fighting was necessary, or that he only fights when he needs to. So they were trying to throw him into the pit to fight Vough, but Artyom refused, smashed his mug over one of the half-orcs' faces, broke his jaw, smashed the mug. The half-orc fell off the top level of the arena and fell down into the pit below, completely unconscious. And now Vough and Artyom are trying to leave this arena. Vough, how do you go about getting back up, Mr. Monkman?
Well, still kind of sunken. Obviously, very a little depressed.
Yeah.
but I kind of just run up.
Yeah. Yeah, you are able to kind of just ascend the wall that you were thrown down with a burst of speed, and you just like appear next to Artyom. Artyom, and now Vough is beside you.
Cheer up, my friend. I think you need a drink.
No, I don't think that'll help.
You both begin wading back to Bad Company as you talk, if there is more that you want to say. Jumping to Khanek, Brelikk, and Theramak.
And Rolland.
And Rolland.
And Rolland, cool.
I forgot Rolland, yeah. You're all four
Oh, no, it's okay.
sitting down at this table, and at this point you have that clear, nameless liquid that is like the favorite alcohol in Heritage, Brelikk. And,
Yeah.
you know, Theramak also has a mug of it. It's kind of like Everclear. And Rolland and Khanek, you have sat down with them, whether or not you have a drink. Do you get one, either of you, or do you just sit down with them?
I think I would just sit down.
Yeah.
So, Brelikk, you're confident you can beat Maladar?
Very much so.
Cutting to the chase.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can't, we'll probably have to kill everyone.
That a gamble you're willing to make,
Categorically
Brelikk?
speaking.
Categorically.
That's
Yeah,
a
you got
gamble
that
you feel
reference,
willing
Harry?
to make.
Absolutely, I do, yeah.
Yeah, I just say that. Like, is that like a risk you're willing to take, Brelikk?
I have been ready since Sanctum made the decision to put him in power.
I am not one to spread words that I know not to be true, gossip, as it were. But there was talk at Palisade, driven by Balakazar. Rumors that, well, Maladar is the false chief. Not much is known of him prior to his assignment as chief of Heritage by Sanctum. In my experience, while I might disagree with Maladar's views and way of ruling our lands, I never thought him to be anything than what he appeared to be. I do not believe the filth which was spread within those walls, but his prowess in single combat has been well documented since his rule. You will not be the first to have challenged him in his time. Doramar was not the first either. Neither was Balakazar. There have been many which have stood up to him, and he remains. I trust your prowess in battle, from what I have witnessed firsthand, Brelikk, but do mind yourself.
If we are going to win over all of Heritage, it needs to be done the proper way, the traditional way. Those from both
Blood and
sides.
steel.
Those from both sides of this civil war will only see the grab and power as just another break in tradition if I don't do it properly.
Baeon knows there's been enough traditions broken here.
You see Theramak's nostrils flare as your words imbue the fire in him, like he is fully in agreement, like nodding as you speak, to the point where he like slams his mug back down and the drink spills over off the side of the counter.
Dude, the echo after you slammed the desk was so poignant.
Really? Yeah.
It was really good.
It must be done. Are we to see him tonight?
Whatever time is best. Traditionally, I've only heard of the duel. I do not know what time is most appropriate.
If you challenge him tonight, he will set it for the next day. I believe time is of the utmost urgency. What say your companions?
He looks around at Khanek and Rolland.
Oh, it's up to Brelikk, it would seem. What we do is irrelevant.
And we issue the challenge tonight.
What, then fight in the morning?
I urge that your companions accompany you in your visitation of Maladar. I believe it will have a profound influence on his decision of whether or not to consider your proposal.
Are you saying maybe Woes may be more of a 6-on-6 battle?
I'm saying that it is more difficult to deny an honorable request when there is an audience.
A presence of company, so nothing strange occurs.
Correct.
Very logical.
Myself, I believe I should remain as separated from the process as possible, as it is well known by Maladar that I vacated my loyalty to him and left to serve under Doromar. I do not imagine he would be thrilled by my return.
I don't think he would be thrilled either. For now, perhaps you should hang back, Theramak, until after the duel.
I have my drink.
And he clunks it against yours.
Lunk.
Best of luck, Brelikk.
And he takes a drink and then stands, and he goes over to the bar proper and begins chatting up the seems like a barmaid, female half-orc, as a matter of fact.
Can you
Those
tell?
don't exist.
Can you tell?
And she has kind
Wait, the motif, it's back. Women are evil.
True.
of she has kind of like this big piercing on her face, and short gray frizzy hair. She's not easy on the eyes, but she seems to pour a good drink, so
Okay, there's no name to the character that was just described, therefore she can't be evil. She's integral to the plot, therefore she's
well,
evil.
You gotta ask her name if you want to know.
I'm not going to. Because the moment she's given a name in this campaign, she's going to be evil. Harry.
No.
In this campaign, Harry, we've only seen evil women. All right.
Evil.
There's no such thing as.
Okay, so you finish your drink.
Yeah.
And seems to Khanek and Rolland as though Brelikk is ready to head out. And as you finish it, Artyom and Vough step in through the doors. Artyom with a dry mug, and Vough looking very sad.
Yeah. Probably be off then.
Well, we don't have all day. Come on.
I show them to the. What'd you call it? The House of the Fallen?
The Hall of the Fallen.
The Hall. Hall of the Fallen.
Which basically serves as a ceremonial
Reminder of
residency for the chief and reminder of those who have fallen on the battlefield. And you begin leading the way there.
You only tents and drawings of people, but now for some reason he's built a fucking building and it's got statues inside. Somehow.
Are you reading the notes?
Me?
I'm kidding. I'm making a joke.
This is just me making shit up. If that's for real, goddamn.
That's 200 IQ.
You are approaching what looks like a much more established, like what could be considered more of a actual building, with like a straw roof, like a hay roof kind of, and it's got, looks like multiple levels, but you know these levels to not be actual floors. It's really just for show. The building itself is actually quite long. Like it looks thin on the front and then goes really far back, all the way to the edge of the main camp of Heritage. And you all arrive at this Hall of the Fallen, and Brelikk, leading the way, opens the front doors into this massive torch-lit hallway that goes all the way back. And
Y'all are going to have to bear in mind with me here. This is very strange, going into a building here, of all places.
yeah, you, among other things, you would know that Maladar is something of more of a progressive style of chief. He's kind of abandoned what heritage stands for in efforts to build something more akin to what the other kingdoms have built for themselves, you know? More focused on establishing the country itself rather than going to war.
Cringe.
Yeah, I'll say.
And not going to war.
Yeah, we hate indoor plumbing.
Fuck is indoor
They
plumbing?
only have that in
Brelikk?
Sanctum.
I didn't think you would know, bud.
The fuck is indoor plumbing?
You just poop into a bag of holding.
Where's the bag of holding taken? Questions.
Just goes into a pocket dimension. You know? Anyway, it's all gotta go
Just
somewhere.
goes
It's like
into a
that Fairly
pocket
Odd Parents episode where all the trash is under the house or whatever.
Oh no.
He's like, I wish all the trash was gone, and then all the trash gets poofed somewhere, and then it's like, the trash has to go somewhere, Timmy. Oh, anyway, so along this hall, among the torches, are statues. Lining all the way down to the end. And Brelikk, you know these statues specifically to be past chiefs of heritage.
Yeah. Yeah.
The first statue you see, notably, you kind of stop before it with your companions. There is like an inscription in common on a plaque below the statue, and it reads more or less that this is Chief Agradar the Everlasting, the first chief of heritage.
We remember him well. It's all in our texts that we take along with us, and then it's taught to our children.
You guys learn and read?
Yes.
You guys all fight and kill each
No.
other all the time. Not
No,
gonna
no.
All the time, you guys are just like, oh, you are saying something to me? Doesn't matter. This is where we live. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. I don't care about your reason. I'll kill you. You guys learn and read?
Yeah, we're built. We learn about our history to enforce the tradition.
Of killing.
Which,
I don't see what's so hard to
I think-
understand. Like,
I thought the orcs thought that like the best lesson was by example, you know? Like
yeah, exactly. Don't break tradition. Otherwise, you get a sword to the throat.
monkey see, monkey do.
Bada bing, bada boom.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
monkey.
The only
I don't
half-orcs
see
that
what's
you've
so hard
really...
to understand.
The only half-orcs you've really met so far are like a bunch of heretics anyways, so...
True.
And we hate heretics.
We hate heretics.
Heretics deserve to be put in the ground and then
like,
not
Theramac's
forever
more of
be-
a reasonable fellow, and, you know, all
Yeah.
those
He's one of the good ones.
all those slimebacks that
Yeah.
helped you in Gale to kill all the disgusting furries, you know? Can't forget about them.
You just call. I'm sorry, slimebacks.
Sorry,
Did you come up with new slurs?
sorry, podunks. Yeah, I'll stick to the.
Oh, there we
I'll
go.
stick to the current campaign terminology.
Where's slimeback from?
It's from the puzzle with.
Okay, what the fuck?
We also have knife use, of course.
Yep.
That one sounds the worst.
That's not the one that's bad.
Why is knife
Cannon.
ears the problem?
No, there's
No,
one that's way
Twiggers
worse.
There's
is
another
the
one.
worst one.
Whoa!
Okay, well,
What? Okay. It's not the word, guys.
Your channel.
Chill out. Yeah, it
your
is my
channel.
channel.
It is what it is.
Doesn't matter. So this Chief Agradar, he led the half-orcs originally to conquer the Genasi people. He was given the title of the Everlasting as a way to remind those who remember him to carry on his legacy of taking what is owed for the sake of heritage. And he was slain during the Battle of the Red Ring, which was the half-orc's first encounter with the undead of Forlorn. And you continue down this hall. Another statue, Chief Zoradak, the Fearless. He was chief during the largest land occupancy of Heritage. Like, it had the furthest borders, the most land. He challenged every ruler of Rapture to single combat at one point in time, only to be refused by them all. He denounced them as weak and vowed to conquer their lands. But in an ambitious attempt to continue expansion, Chief Zoradak rallied a band of his strongest warriors, and he sailed to the distant isles, never to return. Which, as a reminder, the distant isles are not on the map of Rapture. Chief Baramash the Mighty.
Baramash?
Yeah.
Baramash.
Man, y'all got some funny ass names.
Or Baramash.
trying to kill you.
He got his name because as a baby, he, I don't know, fucking fought a bear and mashed it into the ground. Who knows?
Man, y'all orcs got some funny ass names.
That's a funny ass name, Baramash.
Orcs are actually not given their names until their 18th birthday.
If you break down anybody's name, it could be goofy as fuck.
Yeah, like Matt.
Yeah. Jack.
Yeah.
Matt
J.A.
Welch.
Mike.
Mike. Well, yeah. Well, Cannon's the actual one that's weird, but I was saying it in an ironic way with all the other names, but Cannon's name is actually.
Why you bullying me,
very
bitch?
Fucked up, man.
So,
Hey, Matt said it, not me.
Roll and what?
Rolling smoke.
Rolling smash.
Rolling smoke that J.
Baramash the Mighty was chief before your father, Chief Karad.
Damn, that's crazy.
He slew the chieftain of the Giants during his rule, back when the Giants were still separate from in their living space from the half-orcs, proving his strength and assimilating the Giants into heritage, culture, and society. Basically, the Giants followed half-orc chiefs after that. He formed the allyship with Safeguard, Seraph Vendeus. He was the one who brokered that on behalf of Heritage. The first progressive step taken by any chief toward peace rather than war. He was killed when he decided, with this new allyship and with kind of his own hubris, he would invade Sanctum. He was killed during what is known as the Seaside Slaughter. No chief has tried to do this since Baramash the Mighty.
Damn. Because Sanctum is cringe.
And you note that the statues stop after this one.
Man, what the fuck?
The bases are there.
Is the base for my father there at least?
He destroyed the statue, though.
There is an inscription for Chief Karad, but there is no, like, just for his name, as if it was meant for him, but there was nothing ever erected.
Harry, real quick, was so these were there always statues or no? There were not always statues.
There were always statues. Every year, every time a chief died, a statue was put up in their honor. But notably, under Maladar's rule,
not only break tradition,
Karad was not honored.
But not honor the memory? What the fuck? All right.
Your father sucks. I will never regret doing this.
Okay, I don't think he's getting off a little easy.
Your dad was a loser.
You note that then
My name is
after
Brelikk Cougarabron.
after the base of the statue that it was meant for your father, Chief Karad, the next base, it doesn't have an inscription. It is split in two with what looks like an axe, a massive axe, like one that is too big to be wielded by any humanoid, chopping through the block that is, the last block in the hall. Presumably meant for Maladar.
And
And
about to do that to him anyway.
Maybe. You can certainly try.
This motherfucker about to be cut in half. My name is Brelikk Cougarabron. You dishonor my father. Prepare to die. You dishonored my father. Prepare to die.
And you get to the end of this hall. Another set of double doors that lead out onto a veranda, looking out to the back, to out of the main camp of Heritage, where, do you go through?
Yeah, I go through the door. DM, I would like to open the door. Yeah, there we go.
And you step out onto the veranda.
Stick.
It looks out into the cracked and cratered landscape beyond the darkness. There are torches flickering along the railings. And there, in the center, you see a prayer mat and the dimly lit silhouette of a half-orc kneeling away from all of the festivities, with his forehead pressed into the mat below, facing outward toward all of these craters. It is very calm and quiet. The only thing you can hear is the crackle of the torch flames and the breeze that blows through occasionally. And in this silent moment, your eyes kind of adjust to the darkness beyond the torchlight, and you see the headstones of all of the fallen chiefs of past, which you know historically were buried haphazardly in the craters behind the hall.
Mm-hmm.
But amidst the headstones, you see a frill blade of something that is not a weapon, but green, gray grass. This is what you see. Sprouting through the cracks and craters in the landscape, it looks as though in the 10 years since Heritage has left the war, and since you left, it would appear that life, natural life for your kingdom, for your land and for your people, has finally found a way.
But at what cost?
And after this moment, Maladar stands and turns toward you. Gray hair pulled back behind his ears. We finally get to use this picture.
Oh my god, he looks so human.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting.
Disgusting.
He wears what you know to be the first crown of Heritage. No chief has worn a crown before. A very strong statement against the traditions of Heritage. It's rusted with it's this rusted old metal of a make that is not really recognizable as Genasi, or like something that was made by Genasi or half-orc. Almost as if it's from something much older, but is now being used for this purpose. As if he just kind of found it somewhere. But from where, you're not sure. Perhaps one of a civilization long past.
When I'd received reports that the chained catalyst had left the Festival of Peace to go play at war, I feared he would follow the fate of his father.
Clearly, rumors cloud your judgment. I'm here to end what's coming. While you're here, letting our own people die. Refusing to do anything about it. I dreamed of a land like this. A home. Possibly no war in the future. But god damn it, it is here. There is war in our homeland, dividing our people. And yet you sit here and celebrate.
I celebrate nothing. Kukurabran. I do not wish to argue.
Neither do I. I'm here to challenge for all of Heritage.
We all step out of the shadows and we line up behind Brelikk.
Yeah.
Me versus you.
His gaze kind of lingers between you and your companions, and his eyes settle back on you. He removes the crown, and he sets it on a table beside him. And he walks over to you.
I have a really bad feeling about this right now for some reason. I have a really bad feeling.
No. This
No,
will go well.
no.
Matt, all you have to say is say a cool one-liner like he was gonna say this is where we live, and then you say
Clobbering
this is
time.
where, then you say this is where I
So
live.
sorry.
True.
God.
Or he says something like you don't belong here anymore, Shane Catalyst, and you say no, I do belong. This is where I live, or some bullshit. Just say some bullshit Disney line,
This is my country.
and you'll win. You'll win if you say some bullshit
This
Disney.
is
Avengers
God's
line.
Matt,
country.
just hit him with, what's the shape of Italy?
Just,
True, hit him with it.
Anyway,
Mouth.
And then kick him
Harry,
in the jaw.
continue. I got a few lines
Mhm.
ready for what he might say.
This is what you want, Kugrabran.
I didn't think I needed it. But with the way heritage may or may not end up in the future, this is where we stand now.
So close. I'm kidding. I'm glad you didn't say it.
I know. This is how this fight
Do you
will determine
intend to
the
follow
fate.
the fate of your father, Kugrabran?
I intend to follow my own fate.
It is not your own. It is that of every chief that has passed. Do you not see the cycle, Kugrabran? Every chief that has ever ruled over this land, taken to arms and left their homes, only to die in battle, leave us leaderless, and for their own people to suffer. To usurp me, to take my stead in opposition of what I try to achieve here. You are to make the same mistake. Do you not want this for our future?
And he gestures back to the natural life that seems to be just sprouting behind him.
Had I not returned, had I not stopped what was coming here, had I not fought for my own home, have I not fought for what I believe is right, my home would have been long dead. This would have been worthless. I would have died in vain, just sitting idly by.
But I thought you saw the merit to what we were trying to achieve. For it was we. You stood guard on those borders to keep them from doing exactly what it is that you now hope to do.
I had hoped that, though you would sit idly by, you would see that sometimes there is no other option but to act, but to stand and fight. Sometimes you are not just given the choice to. Sometimes you are forced into it. As I am doing with you now. I am giving no other option.
Who is forcing your hand, Kukurabran?
The world.
And as you say that, his face falls.
Then it is as I feared. Now that you have tasted war for yourself, you have given in to its temptation. You thirst for it as the people who revel out there.
I only thirst for Forlorn. Those who broke into our borders and stole our own people away from our own traditions to raise the dead of people who have died in our previous conflicts.
Forlorn.
And he squints at you.
From which border did you travel here?
From Safeguard.
And his nostrils flare as he raises his head.
I see. Then they have influenced you. For what?
To put an end to what is coming.
My ears
Gale
do not
has already
believe
sided.
that you would wish further harm upon Forlorn. Being
Gale
there
has already sided with Forlorn.
when your father
Forlorn
was
has already marched on our lands.
executed by Sanctum. Or have you forgotten that, Kukurabran? Forlorn, you are fighting their war.
Their war was brought to our doorstep. Just as Sanctum came in and stopped us in the middle of our war previously. Now, I might be able to see that in some fashion that what we were doing, bombarding ourselves over to Gale, was hasty maybe in the past after discussing with an old past friend. But to sit idly by at what Forlorn has done to disgrace our lands, disgrace our people, disgrace the dead? I cannot sit idly by and just stand and watch. This is no barbaric instinct. This is to uphold and honor the dead.
You traveled through the safeguard border.
Yes.
Are you here to challenge me on behalf of Doramar?
No. I've killed Doramar. I'm here on me.
And his eyes meet yours. And you can tell he believes you wholeheartedly.
Well, Doramar is gone. My mind is at ease for but only a moment, before another usurper arises to replace him.
And he seems to be directing that at you.
Oh. Perhaps there is also a cycle to the way of rule I have been practicing.
The fuck is this guy going on about? The fucking cycle. Jesus Christ.
For every enemy which rises to claim my place, they fall, and a new one rises. They fall, and a new one rises.
You notice there's like a tonal change as his eyes get more distant, as he seems to be having like a realization. And then his eyes rise to meet yours.
I will grant your request, Kugarabran. We will face each other in the first crater.
And he pulls his hand behind your neck, clasping. It touches his forehead to yours. And you can feel the creases of his face. Trenches of wrinkles. No doubt from many nights of prayer slamming his forehead into the floor.
Slamming, Jesus Christ.
He pulls away and he looks to your party members. And briefly holds his gaze on each one of you. And then looks back to Brelikk and offers a nod.
I'll nod.
And he turns to go back to his prayer mat.
And then I'll leave to go find a spot to fucking rest.
Yeah.
Wherever the fuck. Long rest this bitch up.
Yeah, so Brelikk turns, walks out abruptly, and do any of you decide to say anything to Maladar before you leave, or do you follow behind him, Brelikk?
Uh-oh.
No, I don't say shit.
Okay, Rolland's out.
Whew.
Artyom.
I ain't saying shit.
Okay.
All my homies hate this guy.
All my homies hate Malad.
I like how he's praying. Like, you feel like he's like disrupted the core fundamentals of like your religion, but he's like praying still.
Yep.
Kind of cringe, not gonna lie.
He's praying for forgiveness because he knows he fucked up.
Death.
Maybe.
Death.
There we go.
Yeah, you're not sure why he's praying. Didn't come up.
Yep. I don't care.
Vough, you say anything? Or are you leaving?
No, that's probably a good place to leave it off.
Okay. Yeah, you guys follow Brelikk. In terms of where to long rest, you know, the main camp of Heritage, you can just set up a camp anywhere and just sleep outside, or you can go back to that small shack. Though you're not really sure how great the accommodations would be in there. There'd probably just be some hammocks. Realistically, it would just be a camp, but like indoors probably. And you might have to pay a little bit. But up to you.
We just set up camp.
Okay. So Brelikk begins setting up camp, and
I find a nice spot for us. I know all the good spots
yeah.
to set up tents.
You set up your tents, set up your campsite, put a fire, get a fire going in the
Oh yeah.
in the center, and you all get comfortable for the night. Is there anything any of you want to do before bedtime?
I probably pray before bed.
Okay. The full head to the ground.
Grabbing my sword and placing it in front of me, and then setting my head onto the sword, of course.
Okay, perfect. Anyone else?
I'll just like pray and I'll swap out some of my paladin spells for
Yeah.
Aewa.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't take a long rest. I'd just be walking around for a while and just thinking.
Yeah. Gotta double check something. So, Brelikk.
No nightmares now, DM.
No nightmares.
Let's give him a nightmare. No!
No.
Give him a nightmare, you pussy.
No. That's not what I asked for.
Pussy. You quivering pussy.
Double
I'm
jointed
nuts.
pussy.
You know what I do when I'm scared? Fucking nothing. Because I'm not some quivering pussy.
That is what I'm saying.
Now that is crazy.
Truly.
I feel like that's the average orc in Heritage.
Yeah, that
love
RP
it.
was completely unrealistic. There's way too many big words.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I feel like the dialogue could have been like Brelikk is like,
Zug zug.
Zug zug.
Maladar, you're a pussy for not attacking them, and then Maladar's like, no, we have to go by the new ways. We must stay safe. And then Brelick's like, you're a quivering
No.
pussy, Maladar. We must fight for our lands.
Yeah, that's pretty much the sum of it.
Yeah. Brelik's a fucking
Alright.
hero. Alright?
All right. Anyway, moving on. DM, what happens in my sleep?
You're not sleeping yet.
Oh,
You press your forehead into the blade of your sword.
mm.
What do you say when you pray to Baeon?
If there was any a time to have a sign that this is the right path, now would be it. But I will stay this course. Nevertheless,
Perfect timing.
this is where I stand.
Your mind grows distant.
Whoa.
And you become what you always knew yourself to be. A primal
Steve,
gathering. Stone
Orc.
and dirt, streaked and stained red with blood. You watch yourself take hold the tool of war amidst their cries. You brandish your flaming flag and step toward the battle. The battle will always be there. The world endeavors to destroy itself. You know this. Tribes of masochism disappear into the black smog, and the blood soaks into the battlefield. And then you are sucked into the vacuum.
Hey, yo.
Your vision returns as wisps of red energy are seemingly draining from you, wisping into the tablet of law. The wisps fade, and the engraving of Baeon hums a fiery orange. And that is where we will end the session.
Very good.
Man, damn. Alrighty. Oh,
That's like one of my favorite visuals.
hey, yo, guys. I got a response.
You
He
did.
did. Perhaps we will soon get the blessing of Baeon.
Yeah.
Now that would
Everyone
be
in the
hog
party
money.
receives a blessing.
Whoa!
We have pleased your god, Matt. We have pleased
Let's
your god.
go! War, baby!
War, 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 war.
Orcs. Anyway.
You
Again,
receive.
sorry I was really late tonight, by the way.
Oh, dude.
You're
It's
good.
Fine, family stuff.
That 4.5 hour drive fucking
And
killed
we
me.
level up.
No.
That would be crazy.
Yo.
+1 con? Whoa!
Yo. I'm sitting at 15 con now.
Everyone can make a feature for themselves on their sheet. The Blessing of Baeon. You receive +1 con and proficiency or expertise if you already have proficiency in nature checks.
Hold on, I'll make it and I'll drag it into chat so you guys can just add it.
Oh,
Ooh,
what a god.
Sick. I'll do that then. Oh, that's right.
I love the Tuscan Raider gif you have going, Cannon.
Thank you.
I'm trying to find, like, this is like the best one I could find background wise. I just hate that it does the fade to black thing. Like, I hate that it's essentially just cuts away.
You're
This
trying
is
to
the
find a
best.
Roman. You're trying to do the thing David did, where he had the Romans
Yes!
behind him.
Yeah. I tried to have something like that, and like it feels like every GIF I fucking find, it's either the Lord of the Rings orcs, which, like, granted
Which
they're
is
iconic,
racist.
but like they're also like not the kind of orc that I'm like looking. I'm looking more for like the World of Warcraft, like D&D orc,
Yeah,
which is a bit greener. Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
Lord of the Rings, they look very gray and like very like so much darker. Also, every single scene with them in Lord of the Rings is like pretty much at night.
Yeah, or it's that fucked up guy with the eye.
Yes.
The time of man is over. The time of orc.
It's either that guy or I keep getting this one fucking guy who goes, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that guy. What about them? They're fresh.
For some reason, a gif of Kratos also appeared. Honestly, this kind of works for raging, but do I take it though? I'll take it. Fuck it. Rage.
That's cringe that like you can hard code effects onto things. Like if you make like a compendium or like a of some kind. If you're a player, you can't like, or I don't know if you're even if you're a DM, I don't think you can just directly edit and create effects.
What do you mean edit and create effects?
So there's an effects tab.
Oh.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and that's what allows you to like, if you have a feed that gives you +1 con, it's in the effects tab. So that's what I'm doing is I'm like downloading a feed that has +1 con, altering it to basically just be this ability instead.
Gotcha. Yeah, I do wish like sometimes you could really fucking, I don't know, just like, I feel like there's definitely a simpler way like Foundry could make it to put in effects or whatever instead of like these really complex commands and stuff for things.
Maybe it would just take a lot of work.
No,
'Cause
yeah,
essentially
like
it's just using JavaScript.
from what I remember, the Roll20 did a really like somehow it was very easy to implement that type of stuff. The really like
Oh no,
sort of
you had to pay.
homebrew stuff.
You had to pay money to be able to access the API in Roll20.
Well, no, to like be able to change certain effects and stuff, like and like give
Um,
you +1s to stuff or
You could
whatever.
you could do macros and stuff,
Yeah.
but you couldn't like you couldn't affect yourself in that way without
Like
like, they
just
didn't- they just-
changing the sheet and stuff.
like you just couldn't do that in Roll20 straight up. You
I
could
remember
do
there was
like
some
you could have a
things you-
+1 magic item, and
Yeah.
it would be like you could apply those +1s to the item itself really easily.
Yeah,
That's for sure. But yeah.
I guess that makes sense because I mean, I don't. Yeah. Like some things, like the +2 to archery
Right. You
is
would
like,
just hard code that.
yeah,
But there was a slot for you to do it. You know what I mean? So it was more manual labor, but they thought of it.
yeah,
Whereas Foundry is a little bit more like, if you put in the work, it'll be completely automated, so you'll have like a better outcome. It's like it's just a different approach.
yeah. Cannon, I want to say thank you, but I don't think I said it back at the time when I was making mag for Eternity. Like you helped me set up the piercer feat so I could re-roll once for my damage or whatever, and it's coming to play during combat. And thank fucking God you helped me figure that out because there's no way with the timer.
Trying to remember that shit.
Yeah, especially with the timer in place and everything, right? It's like I have no time to do it.
It's also nice because then John doesn't have to apply the damage.
Exactly, yeah. Like it all just does it for me. If I roll like below a 4, it's just like, yeah, re-roll. It's great. I fucking love it.
Yeah. Roll20 did do that too, though.
Yeah.
They actually had, like, it was different notation, but they had the same functions. That's the one thing Roll20 does really well, is the way they do their rolls. And technically Roll20 is the only one that actually does the quantum rolls. Other services use the randomizer.
So this is just a randomizer?
Yeah, it's just a command that says like, oh hey, like fuck. Someone steal her?
What?
Damn.
So what the hell is quantum rolling technically?
Okay, so normally when you have a randomizer, right? Like there's a command in a lot of programming languages that say like random, right? And you can generate a random number and use it to like, and you can do it between like a certain range. Oh, you're muted, Harry.